Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Basketball season is right around the corner, and my guest today is going to tell us a little about the women's basketball season. Mike Murphy, head coach. Mike, thanks for joining me here today.
No problem, Aaron.
And as I mentioned, basketball season right around the corner. First off, just general impressions about this upcoming season.
Well, we're working hard, and the kids are really focused on having a great year. They're very enthusiastic. We've been practicing for a while, so we need to play somebody and hit somebody besides ourselves, but we're looking forward to getting the season started November 13th.
And November 13th is the start, but right now working on getting the team together, and with that, returning players, returning starters, who you've got coming back?
Well, two main returning players, D'Angela Swart, preseason all-conference. She's a Montgomery native, great student athlete. As good as she is on the basketball court, she's even better in the classroom. And I think her being selected preseason all-conference is solidification that she has worked hard and done the right things while she's been here. And she deserves that honor. She's a very versatile player. She can score off the bounce. She's been working very, very hard to be a leader on the floor. She's a quiet kid, but as leaders, you just can't talk the talk. You've got to walk the walk, and she does that. And she's given us everything she has every minute she's on the court. And the younger players are learning how to play by watching her. Sophie Kleeman is a returning point guard. She's a junior. She's a two-year starter. She's put a lot of minutes in since she's been here, maybe too many minutes. So those two players I think are going to lead us into the season. Others will have to, jump on board and give us everything they've got. Tania Manuel is a senior. She's put in a lot of time. She has started quite a few games, and we're looking for her to have a strong, solid senior season. She can do a lot of things. She's very versatile. And then we have two freshmen, Rosie Haynes and Coco Coleman, who I think will come in and make immediate impacts. And
Rosie, she's the player from England, is that right?
Yeah, she's from London, England. Oh, actually, she's from Birmingham.
Birmingham,
but she
okay.
played for Barking Abbey, which is out of London.
Okay.
And she played on their under 18 national team. Has got a lot of international experience. Has played a lot of basketball. Has an extremely high basketball IQ. She'll be able to spot Sophie at times at the point guard position. Last year in 16 conference games, Sophie played all but 3 minutes. So Rosie will be able to help Sophie. I get the two confused. I call them by each other's name all the time. But Rosie will spot Sophie at the point guard position. Yes. She can also play some two as well as Sophie. So she's going to give us some depth at that position. And then Coco Coleman is a very interesting athlete. She came from H.W. Byers in Mississippi, won 3 state championships, was a state-level cross-country runner. She's 5'10"-ish, can guard a lot of different people on the perimeter, can play in the post. She's strong enough and has enough athleticism to do that. So I think she'll give us some added depth in the 4 and 5 spot.
Good. And you talked about about D'Angela getting the preseason honors. Let's talk a little about the preseason poll. The coaches poll coming into the season, Troy voted to finish last. Obviously, probably not the best place, but then again, it is just the preseason, right?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter really where you start. What matters is where you finish. We lost a great player last year in Danette McNair, and there's a variety of reasons for that, and when you lose someone that's dominant, that's going to show, and that's going to reflect on what people think your chances are for the coming year. Look at the football poll this year. I mean, I'm not sure where everyone was picked, but I don't think the person at the top was, so it happens every year. So we're not concerned about where we're picked. We're not concerned about where we start. We're more concerned about where we finish. And a little coach speak now. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So we're going to take it one game at a time. But we really don't talk about stuff like that. We focus on getting better every day, and that's the only thing we can control, and that's what we try to do every day in practice.
And of course, conference, good competition throughout the conference. I mean, you look at it, and there's probably only a couple of teams that are really the standouts every season, pretty much in the women's side of things there. So
3 teams have been dominant in this league for a long time: Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky, and the last 3 years, Arkansas Little Rock. And in particular, Little Rock and Middle over the last 3 years. Middle Tennessee is the class of the league this year, hands down. They've got the preseason player of the year. She's only going to be a sophomore, which tells you something about her abilities. They have great depth. They have great tradition. But they are clearly the lead dog in this pack. Arkansas Little Rock lost 3 really good players, one great player in particular. And those kids all started since they were sophomores. So they're really starting over. Now, what that means, I don't know. And I talked to Joe Foley, the Arkansas Little Rock coach, last night. We were talking about, youth and all that sort of thing. And he hasn't had to deal with that in a while. But they'll come back to the pack a little bit. And I'm not sure about Western Kentucky. They had a dominant post player that has graduated and moved on. So I think number one is clear in Middle Tennessee. After that, 2 through 10, I think, is wide open. And I think whoever shows up on the particular day has a chance to win the game. So I think that's going to make the season very exciting.
Let's talk a little about the schedule, especially your non-conference schedule. You've got especially you have a trip coming up in the early part of the season, a conference tournament you're going to over Thanksgiving. A chance, I know something that you're excited about.
Yeah, we are. We're going to the University of Maine's tournament. Now, most people would think, Maine in November. Why? Well, you know, we live in the South, and it's always bright and sunny here, and we love the sunny South, but this is a tournament. I've been in women's basketball now for 15 years, and this is a tournament that everybody talks about. It's supported to the hilt. Those people get behind it 100%. Games are sold out. They're close to being sold out. You get a host family that treats you like, you know, you're the best thing since sliced bread. The Thanksgiving banquet, I'm told, is clearly the best in the country. They've had teams from the Big East, the Big Ten, the SEC, the Pac-10, the Big 12 go to this tournament. The competition is great, and they really, you know, do it up right. So we're looking forward to that tournament. We play Auburn the next week when we come back. 2 years ago, they won the SEC. And you know, it will be a tough game, but it's a game we want to play against an SEC opponent. So the schedule is as competitive as always, but the main tournament is going to be special for the kids. And when I was coaching men's basketball, I had a chance to go to Alaska 3 times for 3 different tournaments, and you told the kids, hey, we're going to Alaska, and they were like, you know, why? And had we not gone, they probably wouldn't have gone on their own, but since we did, they really enjoy the trip. It's when we get together and talk, that's something they all talk about, and I'm hoping we have the same effect with the main tournament with the girls.
Good opportunity for the players.
Yes.
And it all starts off with the opening game, and that is against
November 13th against Winthrop University, homecoming weekend. It's a 1 o'clock game. The men play at 4, so I know we're going to get a big win at 12 o'clock on Saturday. Volleyball plays Saturday night,
there you go.
and then we play at 1 o'clock. So, you know, nobody has to leave early. You can go straight from, you know, the football game to the volleyball game. No reason to go to bed. Come to our game, and then go to the men's game.
Sounds like
it's
fun.
Homecoming weekend.
Of course, homecoming weekend.
That's
There's
right.
no reason for sleep
Hey,
out
sleep
there.
when you're dead.
Of course. Well, good luck with the season, and obviously it sounds like it's going to be fun, especially those trips early on. So thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Aaron.